Hi friends, it's Taylor again, here for another mindful project this week. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but then I looked around, and since it's around Christmas time, I've been getting a lot of boxes. So I have a lot of excess cardboard, and I could either throw it away, save it for packing something else later, or use it in a project. So I thought, since I don't really have much festivity in the apartment here, I'm going to make myself a Christmas tree. Yeah, it's easier than buying one, easier than getting a fake one that's gonna sit in a landfill forever. So I'm gonna make one. I don't know how yet, but we'll go along and see. It's gonna be an experiment. I've never really done anything like this before, but that's sometimes the point of a project, to learn about it, to get your brain working and see what you can come up with. So let's see what we can come up with. All right. Okay, so as I said before, this is going to be an experiment. I've never done anything like this really before, and so let's, I guess, just get right into it. I broke apart the boxes that I had, so they're all in long strips now, as you can maybe see over behind me there. I'm going to grab a ruler real quick. Okay, got the ruler. So let's measure this out. So it looks like 15 inches total for that. So 15 inches, that's like, yeah, I could see that. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna detach this. So I'm gonna take my styrofoam cardboard cutting thing here, just so I don't cut into the table. With my X-Acto knife, very, very sharp. Always gotta be very careful with this. And I'm just gonna cut along here. The reason I'm using an X-Acto knife as opposed to scissors is with cardboard, if you use scissors, it kind of squishes the cardboard down a little bit on the edges. And since I don't want that to be the case, I'm just gonna make it as clean a cut here as possible. Always making sure to keep my fingers out of the way. So that's that. I'm gonna get this other piece as well. And I am making really darn sure that I'm not cutting into the table here, because that would be bad. Get these two wings off of here. All right, so there's one of our pieces. Okay, so there are our first two pieces. Make sure to put that away. And so we have those two. These are about 15 inches. And so since none of the other box pieces I have are 15 inches, not quite that long, I think what I'm gonna have to do is probably make it about 13 inches high, because I think that's the next longest piece of cardboard I have. So the next thing is to decide how thick we want how wide we want our tree to be. So take our ruler, and let's see, this is 7 1/4 inches wide. So then what we have to decide is how long. So we could just make it an even 6 inches. And it's not imperative that it's the straightest line you ever make in your life, because we're gonna cut it into a triangle in a little bit as well. So, oh gosh darn it. Well, okay, so I'm gonna cut along that line, and then I'm gonna repeat that same thing for the other piece. Just do that real quick. And all I'm doing here is more or less just kind of eyeballing how, like, the width here. And like I said, it doesn't have to be precise, because we are gonna be making a triangle up this way. So, it's not the most important thing in the world, but you also don't want to be sloppy with it either. So got that. Okay. Okay, one piece. Okay, and our other. So I'm basically going to just repeat that same step with another piece of the box, or another box rather, and then we'll cut it down to 13 inches, and we'll figure out where our triangles are going to be. So first thing I'm going to do, find the center of these. They should be more or less 6 inches. So we're just going to put a mark at 3 inches here. Okie doke. And so we basically just have to draw a line from there to each corner, and we'll have ourselves a triangle. And once we do, I'm going to trace that onto the other 3 pieces, and then we'll get on to gluing them together. Okie doke. So as you can see, we have our 4 pieces cut out, our 4 triangles. And so basically all I'm gonna do from this point is to kind of line them up, and we're just making a pyramid out of them, more or less. I love pyramids, man. And so the evergreen tree just kind of lends itself to a pyramidal shape. I can't stand it up, but that's the next step. So we'll warm up the hot glue gun and take it from there. Okay, so we're all warmed up and ready to glue. Let's get these all attached. I'm gonna do a quick lineup here and make sure the sides all fit together well. Now I've only ever done 1 or 2 things with a glue stick before, so this is gonna be an experiment. All of this is an experiment. We'll see how this experiment goes. Well, it doesn't look great, but it will function. You really don't want to touch this glue, because it will burn you. Okay, so as you see, we have our 2 halves. I'm gonna let them dry a little longer. They are both fairly 90 degrees there, which is good, because when we put them up like this and glue them in place, they will be hopefully more or less correct angles. And if not, we can always tweak it a little bit. As you can see, it's not like super square, but we can work with that. So I'm gonna let these dry a little longer, and we'll come right back. Okay, so now I'm just gonna glue this, which is the open side. Same with the other side real quick, and we'll see how that goes. We'll let it sit for a bit. Okie doke, so we have our pyramid all glued up. The glue is pretty well concrete by now. As you can see, it's our pyramid shape. So now the next step is gonna be to paint it. I'm just gonna cover the whole outside in a single coat of probably this dark green paint. It just seems like a good color for a Christmas tree to have. So we'll do that. I might mix in some of this lighter green stuff just for some highlights. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna use the red, the yellow, maybe some orange for ornaments later on. But for the meantime, we'll start with this orange. I'm gonna get this guy cleaned off here, and we'll fill it up and start painting. Okay, so we have all 4 sides painted here, and everything's a lovely shade of green. And so yeah, while that's drying, I'm gonna let it dry for a little while, and then when I come back, we're gonna see about decorating with some paint. As you can see, I got some paint on me. It's a painting project. It's par for the course, but we're gonna let this hang out for a bit and come back soon. So here I want to finish off our pyramid with a square of cardboard on the bottom. I'm just going to trace the base of the pyramid here and then cut that out. And then I'm going to make sure that that fits, and it doesn't quite. So I'm going to trim it up a bit before I glue it in place. Okay, so we have our tree. The color might be a little hard to see in this light, but we have it, it's green. We have attached the bottoms, hot glued it on there, so it's not going anywhere. My thinking is I actually want to make like a little base for it. So what I did was I cut out these little shapes, and I keep wanting to say super glue, hot glued them together, and I'm going to put that as a base on there. But I think we should have something to attach it to. So I found this piece of styrofoam, just kind of hanging out, not doing anything. So I thought we'd attach it to that. So I am going to hot glue this on there, and then we're going to put the tree on there, and we're gonna have a little bit of a stand. Okay, so actually I had another thought. So we have our stand, yeah, okay, cool. So that's a square thing on another square thing. I want to mix it up a little and have a circle. So what I did was I got another piece of cardboard and lined this up the size of this, because what I want to have happen is just have it be a little bit bigger than this styrofoam piece, and I think this size will be perfect. So I'm going to trace this onto a piece of cardboard. And it's okay that it has the ridges there because it's going to be on the bottom and it's going to be flat, so that should be fine. I'm just going to trace this here, and hopefully it comes out exceptionally lovely. Sorry, I don't know what that voice was. Okay, there we have it. Look at that beautiful circle. Capital. All right, so I'm going to cut this out, then I'm going to basically just hot glue this on there, and then hot glue the rest on there. Should be good to go. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but when I was gluing on the bottom part, it actually melted the styrofoam, and it makes sense. It's a pretty hot device, that glue gun there, but still surprised me a little bit. So I think I'm going to do another layer just around there, just to kind of make sure this is stuck on there, and then we're going to attach the tree right to there. Just gonna plop that on top, and after that we can start putting on the ornaments. Woo! Okay, so I have it glued on there, and you can see in there just added a little more glue just for a little better structural stability. And yeah, all right, so there is our tree. I like it. All right, guys, so it is the next morning, and so last night we left it here. It's glued to the base, so everything's secure on there. I did go back and just kind of touch up the sides a little bit with some extra paint, just to kind of cover up the glue and the holes and whatnot. So my next step, I think beyond here, is basically just going to be to add some ornaments on there. I think I'm just going to do little globs of hot glue, just every here and there, and then I'm going to probably use the red, the yellow paint on there, and just see how that turns out. Now the yellow paint I have is actually glow-in-the-dark paint. I don't know how luminous it is. I don't think it's super duper bright, but it's worth a try anyway, and maybe put this under some fluorescent light or something and have it start glowing. That would be pretty cool. So that's my next step. I'm going to do some little glue ornaments on there, and we'll paint those up. I don't know if it's very visible on here, but what I've done is I've marked certain places on there where I'm going to put the ornaments. I did it in pencil first, just because it just adds kind of like a rough sketch, because little pencil is easier to paint over than mistaken globs of goo. But now that I'm happy with those on there, we're gonna go ahead and glue some ornaments on here. Mistakes are to be expected and welcomed, because there are no such things as mistakes. As our buddy Bob Ross would say, it's only happy accidents. Okay, so we have our little ornaments on there, these little dots. I actually really like how that turned out. I kind of almost don't want to paint them because they look, I don't know, they look cool. I like them. I still have to clear off some of these little hairs there from the glue, but I do think I'm going to paint them still. Just kind of hand paint each of the little dealy-doos on there. So yeah. And now we're gonna start the tree topper. I want it to be fairly stylized to kind of fit with the whole theme of this project. So I'm just gonna take this dollar coin and trace it out twice. And then I'm gonna cut small grooves out of each one of those so they fit together like so. And then I'm gonna paint it yellow to be bright like a luminous heavenly body. Okay, so I'm finding with this yellowish paint that it actually, when it dries, it's turning like transparent. So I think it's more or less just supposed to be a glow-in-the-dark paint, and that's fine. So I think once this completely dries, what I'm gonna cover it with the hot glue that's over there, and then I'm gonna try to put another layer of paint over it, because what appears to be happening with our tree is, I don't know if you can see very well, but the glue, so the paint is drying on there, it's becoming a little more transparent, and the glue underneath actually, when it catches the light, it kind of makes it appear to glow even better. So I like that. I'm gonna see if I can do the same thing with our little tree topper there. Okay, so this is taking a while to dry. It's been like 30 minutes after I painted it on there. I don't know if you can tell, but I did hot glue all of the surfaces on there so that the paint would have some translucency at the end, hopefully. But it's taken a long time to dry, so I'm gonna move on and get that out of the way. So what I'm gonna do from here is we have our tree, and since it's a a winter tree, I'm gonna put some snow on there. If you wanna see where I got this, feel free to check out my previous video where I make a pretty cool winter hat. I'm not totally sure how I'm gonna do it. I'm not even sure if the hot glue is gonna make it stick, but that's what this is all about, finding stuff out, man. Okay, so wish me luck. I'm gonna heat my glue back up. So I've run into a little bit of an issue. So I'm gluing on the fur to make it look like snow, but this fur in particular is so fine that I can just keep, like it's attached, like it's glued on there, but there's still, I can pull off a ton of extra fluff. So it seems like the hot glue might not be the best way to put it on there, but I actually don't know a better way because I don't have like super glue or anything. But I can't really take it off because I've already kind of indented the styrofoam with the hot glue. So I don't really want to do that because it would look holy and whatnot. So I'm thinking of what I might do is I might just go through and pull off as much extra fluff as I can, and then whatever's left will just kind of be, I mean, it looks a little scraggly. I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. I'm just gonna try to glue as much as I can around here and the corners and stuff. And I guess we'll just see how it looks at the end. Hopefully it turns out. So I am wanting to get this done because the sun's setting, and I want to have somewhere to put my presents. I need a tree for that. So I'm just gonna call this good for now. It's almost completely dry. You can see there are some wet spots in there, but I think we can work around that right now. It's a really interesting feeling. It's like it's a rubber piece of cardboard now. It has weight. But I'm basically just gonna attach it to the tip of the tree. I don't know exactly how, but I'm just gonna hot glue it just kind of right onto there, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. So wish me luck. It's a little lopsided. That's just fine. Okay guys, I think we're all finished. I'm all done here. So yeah, that's how it kind of turned out. I'm happy with it. I think it turned out really well. I'm a little sad that the fur, snow, whatever at the bottom wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but you know, the whole point of this project is to learn from it so I can do better next time. But all in all, everything else kind of turned out, you know, better than I expected it to. I like the yellow on there. Look, it's almost dry. And it's a little messy glue job, but that's fine. Kind of looks a little bit like snow or something. And yeah, ornaments turned out. I think this is a really cool, fun, and simple project to do. And it did take me 2 days, but such is life. And I'm excited to see once it gets dark if these will glow. Put them up to some light and maybe take some pictures for you. But yeah, that's that. And it was a fun little experiment, and now I have a tree to put presents under. But anyway, you know, thanks for stopping by again this week, guys, and I hope things are not too chilly out there for you. I'm sure grateful that you came by again, and this was a fun little project, kind of just popped into my head one morning, and I thought I'd go for it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if it was too rambly or too long, but let me know what you thought down in the comments. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, and if you're feeling like spreading some holiday cheer, feel free to, you know, share the video with friends, family, whoever might like to see a cardboard tree come into existence. I don't know who that'd be, but anyway, thanks for stopping by, like I said, and don't forget to breathe, be in the moment as much as you can, and you know, over these holidays, I hope you can find some peace, some sort of joy, some music, some love, and as always, never forget how important you are. Thanks for coming by. See you guys soon.
Oh my gosh, I have enough to make another tree! Ah!